Brett is one of the many outstanding actors that you can see in the motion picture 42, which has been at the top of the box office charts for the last couple of weeks. I think it was number one 2 weeks ago. It got overtaken, I think, just this week. But a wonderful movie, just a fantastic flick about the life of the rookie year of Jackie Robinson, everything that he went through to come out of Montreal and get to the Brooklyn Dodgers. And Harrison Ford's role as Branch Rickey was just tremendous. But this gentleman, Brett Cullen, is the first manager that Jackie Robinson had. He plays the role of the manager of Montreal, and he joins us now here on the Tim Brando Show. He's got a lot of other things going on. We'll get to that. But, Brett, it's good to have you back, buddy. How you been?
I'm good, Tim. It's great to be back, and it's great to be back in Los Angeles finally.
Yeah, I know you've been busy with a lot of other projects, and we'll get to that. But you now have become, I think, probably typecast in a lot of areas. But the good news is, yeah, that means you get a lot of jobs. And yeah. I don't know how many sports movies now, tons of them. The Replacements. I mean, people forget you were
the Replacements. I did. Well, I've done golf, football, and baseball.
Right.
I did Dead Solid Perfect with Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
It was a Dan Jenkins novel, and then which actually I think was one of HBO's first movies that they made for their network when they first started. And then this one, 42, which I played Clay Hopper.
Yeah.
Who was an interesting character to play because he sort of represents the times.
Yes.
Of 1946 when Jackie came out.
Yeah.
Broke the color barrier in the major leagues. But I met Rachel Robinson on set. She came, and I took a photo with her. And it was interesting because I wasn't working that day. And the first AD, Eric, a friend of mine, he had them call me and say, "Brett, get Brett to the set." And I went, "What?" They said, "You have to come to set." And I said, I'm scheduled to work today. What are you doing? I think I was going to play golf. And they said, "No, you have to be on set." And I got there, and Eric pulled me aside, and he goes, "Listen, I wanted you here because Rachel Robinson's here today."
Wow.
But I met her, and she was such a charming, smart woman. And I think it's the same age as my mom. She's getting up there. And I asked to take a picture with her, and she said, "Sure, that's of course." And then I put my arm around her, and she goes, What character do you play?" And I said, "Clay Hopper." And she literally jerked back and looked at me. And I said, "What?" She goes, "He wasn't a very nice man."
No. Well, in the movie, there are a lot of shocking moments. For those of us that are raised in the South, there are those moments. I know the first episode that he encountered as a pro was in the movie, at least, is an episode at the New Orleans airport trying to get down to the training camp where you would be. And Hopper was for all of us that are from the South, we have to remember the times. And he was from Mississippi, Greenville, Mississippi, if memory serves me correctly. And so you had to tap into that. And the line that you had after he made a diving stab was just the beginning of what we were going to see play out. But I thought that Harrison and the way he really channeled Branch Rickey, that was just a wonderful scene, the way he got in your ear very quietly as Clay Hopper, and then you responded as if to say, okay, it is a new world order now. It was really a fantastic scene to me. It was.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, I mean, the way that was shot, it was at the end of the day. They were shooting, and Harrison just turned to Brian, who our director and writer, who is an absolute genius in my opinion, and probably, and I mean this, I've done this for 35 years, one of the most egoless men I've ever met in my life. One of the sweetest, kindest guys. And Harrison just said, "Look, in his ego, can we just, he stayed in character.
Yeah.
Can we just run this, like, just keep the camera rolling? I want to do it 5 or 6 times." So we did, and it was an interesting choice he made because we rehearsed it different ways, and he finally went, I kind of, he wanted to do it that way, and it worked because it was more of a moment between him and I as opposed to him dressing me down in front of the team. It was respectful. Right. I think he really liked Clay. And in his defense, Clay Hopper's defense, because I don't mean to think that Rachel, he did say some things that were pretty horrible.
Oh, sure.
They were representative of 1946.
Absolutely they were.
Primarily the white population thought of black people.
Right.
They just returned from World War II and they had fought for our country. in my research, I mean, he said something that was a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
He was credited with saying something that was a lot worse to Branch Rickey than what I said in the movie. But in Jackie, in his words, he always said that Clay Hopper was very fair to him.
Yeah, right.
So, and he became a huge supporter of Jackie's once the color barrier was broken.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he realized that, I mean, he won Rookie of the Year that year.
That's
right.
He
was a great ball player.
Yeah. Just an amazing, amazing story. And I want everybody, if you haven't seen it, go. I'm telling you, it's just a tremendous, tremendous movie. And Brett Cullen, who played Clay Hopper in 42, is with us here on the Tim Brando Show right now. You are a sportsman. Okay, you are a good athlete. We've played some golf together. I know how much you enjoy these kinds of roles. Do you enjoy them more, Brett, than the conventional roles that you get in television? And we'll get to some of those. I know you've been involved in Person of Interest and a new show that's about to premiere, Devious Maids, that's coming up, I believe, in June. But do you enjoy the role of sportsman in these motion pictures and television series whenever they come up?
Well, it's a joy to be able to do because as you know, I was a baseball player myself
right.
When I was young. So the idea of being able to, it's a lot easier to put that skin on.
Yeah.
That character because you kind of know what that world's all about.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's my good friend. We talked about Dennis.
Yeah.
Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
He's done tons of sports movies, and it's just something when you're an athlete that it's kind of cool to be involved in something that's that hip, that you understand and love so dearly.